A man once wanted to enter an interview room and was waiting out. One of the panel members then said, "Please come in." The man then went in and wanted to speak, but none of the panel members gave him a chance to speak but urged him to sit down. The man then sat down. One of the panel members then asked, "What do you think of this room?" The man then answered, "Sir, this room is very well furnished. The tiles look so beautiful, the carpet is so well laid, the window screens, the board, the projector, everything is so well organized." And then one of the panel members then said, "Did you notice that there was a paper that was bundled and thrown on the floor?" The man then answered, "Yes, sir. I noticed that as soon as I entered the room, but I just didn't say anything because I thought it would be awkward, as I know the person who threw it on the floor too." The panel member then asked, "Please tell me who threw it on the floor." The man answered, "Sir, the second person from the left threw it on the floor. I can even still see the pad and the piece of paper that is untorn from what he threw, and that is how I knew it was him who threw it on the floor." The panel member then said, "Very good observation." He continued, "Can you please call the sweeper inside and tell him or her to clean it?" The man said, "Can you please tell me the name of the sweeper so I can go call him or her?" There was then silence. The man understood that they didn't know the name of the sweeper who swept their room every day. So he then said, "Sir, I will go and call the sweeper. Please give me a minute." And he walked out. There was another man who sat out of the interview room to guard it. And he then asked that man, "Can you please tell me the name of the sweeper who cleans this room every day?" The man said, "The sweeper standing there is the one who cleans their room every day. Her name is Bhavani." He then called Bhavani and asked her to clean the room. She happily agreed and cleaned the room. The interview then continued. Another panel member this time asked, "Do you know who out of all of us is the boss?" The man then answered, "Of course, sir. Of course I know it. The two people sitting in the center are not the bosses. The one on the left takes care of all the financial matters. The man will only answer when it's relating to negotiating my salary. The one on the right is the director and the HR. The two people sitting on the corners, one of them is the boss. The one sitting on the left is not the boss. He only smiles and spoke occasionally to me. The one sitting on the extreme right corner is the boss. He didn't speak a single word all throughout the interview." And this is where most of the people get confused. Usually, the boss is the one who sits right in the middle during any interview. But this time, the boss is sitting on the extreme right corner. The people were so amazed with the way he answered the questions. And one of the bosses said, "Splendid." He was so amazed with the way he answered every single thing all throughout the interview. And then another panel member asked, "Is your name Giridhar and are you from Hyderabad?" The man humbly answered, "No sir, I'm sorry. My name is not Giridhar. Giridhar is the man sitting outside your interview room and is waiting to enter. My name is Prakash. I'm the man from the canteen and I just came in to ask whether you needed any requirements and whether any of you needed tea or coffee or some soft drink or a few snacks to continue your day." All of them were shocked with the way he answered, and they really wanted to take him in. What do we learn from this story? The first thing we learn is awareness. Being aware of your surroundings, being aware of the people you talk to, being aware of what you listen to, being aware of what you see is very, very important and crucial for us. Because half of us are not aware of our surroundings. Half of us are not aware of the people who exist in our lives, just the way it happened in the story. None of the panel members were aware of the name of the sweeper who cleaned their room every day and maintained the cleanliness of the room. This leads me to the second takeaway from this story, and that is assumptions. This is also a very essential and crucial thing that most of us mistake. 80% of the world only judge people and judge things based on their personal assumptions. Without seeing people, without knowing who they are, without knowing what they are, we only make our assumptions in their mind and continue to judge them based on our assumptions. The full form of assume is making an ass of you and me. So if we don't want that to happen, it is important for us to talk to people, to understand them, to listen to them. And that brings me to the fourth point of listening skills that most of us lack. We don't want to understand people. We don't want to listen to their side of the story and only assume to what we feel is right. All these 4 points are interconnected. Because we are not aware of our surroundings, we assume things in life. And because we assume, we don't listen. And because we don't listen, it leads to a lot of negative things. Before I end this, I want to leave you with a formula, the AQAL formula. Ask questions and learn. Because only by asking is when we are aware of our surroundings, we don't assume, and we are listening with all our ears. So let's keep these 4 things in mind so that we can live a more holistic and better life. Thank you.